Hello guys, I'm glad to have you on my channel today. The bulk of the time we watch anime where the main character is already strong or having a gradual growth process. How about anime where the main character unexpectedly shows a power that surprises everyone? That's what we'll be discussing today. In some cases, these overpowered main characters already had these powers. In other cases, they're new powers that just got unlocked. Nevertheless, whatever the case may be, these new powers are far greater than what we've ever seen, and so are surprising to his opponents and allies alike, and most importantly, even to us fans. I'll begin the list now. Enjoy. 10. Absolute Duo. In a world where each person can visualize a weapon from their soul, an academy is created to train those users who later enter into a tournament to decide the absolute duo. The MC transfers newly to that said school, and in a weird twist of events as he uses his powers, it is revealed that opposed to everyone that ever spawned a weapon that is offensive for the first time, a person spawned a defensive weapon, which is a sturdy, powerful shield. This cryptic and weird power that manifested in him surprised everyone in the room and made him the talk of the show, with everyone now going around trying to make him join their team for the tournament. 9. Assassin's Pride. I mean, I've heard about honor amongst thieves, but an assassin's pride, that's new for me. Whenever you hear the word assassin, the first thing that comes to mind is a deadly, badass, cold-hearted killer, and you're right to have that image in your mind too. But when it comes to the case of Kufa Vampire, he acts as an instructor to teach Melita how to use her mana, when in reality, her family orders him to kill her the moment he discovers that she has no mana. He ultimately decides to abandon his mission and trains Melita whilst protecting her secret from her family and his guild, knowing full well that if the secret is out, his life and hers will be spent. Staring death right into the eyes, Kufa took that path and seems like he won't waver from it. 8. Heibai Wuxuan. In this rage, out-of-control moment, a demonic soul enters the body of the MC through his hand and somehow awakens something in him. It awakens a power not even he knew he had, changed his looks, and immensely increased his strength, giving him a more adult-like form than his normal child/young man looks, and the opponent he was struggling against before became a trivial obstacle in his path. Just by looking into his eyes, you could realize just how powerful he became. But also, through looking, it is clear that the same man you knew before is nowhere to be found with his serious, scary, dead inside eyes. 7. Captain Earth. Daichi is a 17-year-old kid that lost his father in a space mission gone wrong. One day, he witnesses on the TV a rainbow formation broadcast from the Tanegashima Space Center. He returns, and because of his skill at a particular arcade game, it makes him the perfect pilot for the Earth Engine Impactor. He might seem underwhelming at first and inexperienced, but he proves in later episodes that he was worthy of his position all along, and he is the best when it comes to protecting Earth and its people by piloting his mecha. 6. Trinity 7. This anime literally starts off with the world coming to an end. However, you can't just end the world from the first episode, ending the series with it now, can you? That's why the cousin of the main character pulls off a Deus Ex Machina, saves the day, but disappears in the process. Having no idea what's going on, things get worse for the MC as he's introduced to a girl holding a giant gun to his face, blaming him apparently for the end of the world that almost took place. He's then whisked off to a school where he discovers that in him lies the power of a demon lord that can destroy or save the world, depending on how it's used. 5. Noblesse. I mean, who can forget this webtoon masterpiece that just didn't perform on the screen the way we expected? With Rai now in Yiren High School to stay away from the Union, peace won't last long for him, considering how the Union just want their hands on him as soon as possible. Rai's transfer student deception won't be all that'd get you hooked onto the show, with the title introducing vital names one after another that make everything all the more interesting. With M21 and weird names with a K and J in it, Rai's school life isn't going to be anything he ever expected, considering how the Union and the people he encounters one by one are going to make things rather difficult for him, to say the very least. 4. Tokyo Ravens. In this series, the character comes from a prominent line of mages. One problem, however, He doesn't have a single drop of magic in his body. Neglected by his family, he decides to live a normal life, like any high school student. The anime directors won't have that though, and like any anime series with a useless protag, his abilities need to awaken with the death of a close one. And what better way than to kill a girl in front of him that will grant him immense powers? After awakening his powers, he works side by side with the Onmyodo and Natsume, facing the monsters and demons unleashed on their world half a century ago, due to a perfect plan gone wrong kind of scenario in the World War II. 3. Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry. Ranked F Magical Knight, or as everybody calls him, Worst One. He is Iki Kuragane, the knight with the lowest ratings ever. Not because he's weak, but because the system they use to categorize a knight doesn't work in his case. To everyone else, he's a weakling, but in reality, he is a skilled swordsman with no flashy abilities or powers. His ace in the hole is Ito Shura, a skill that takes his body to its utmost physical limit for 1 minute, but is incapacitated afterwards, and can only use it every 24 hours. Even though it has all those restrictions, he was still able to make the best of it, and with his best, he crushed everyone else's best. 2. World Trigger. Getting bullied as a transfer student in a shounen setting isn't a start we're unfamiliar with at all. However, what came next for Yuma Kuga was the least we were expecting, no? With neighbors and the Border Defense Agency at it for ages now, seeing a humanoid from the other side was the last thing Osamu wanted to hear that day. With Toei Animation going out of its way to shoot down a masterpiece in making, you know the scores lie when you see them digits pop up on your screen. Plus, with the sequel out as well, it's the perfect time to bridge the gap between the 2 seasons and get to the binge, since this one isn't like the others when it comes to the episode count. 1. The King's Avatar. Talk about a gaming expert. When it comes to the game of glory, this main character has no rival and no equal whatsoever. He's one of the first generation players of glory, and the only one that led his team to 3 consecutive championships ever, as well as being the NB1 defending leaderboard champion. This person dedicated his life to gaming and created lots of combo guidebooks and walkthroughs that even professional players use and consider revolutionary. As well as the fact of being a master of all professions and classes, this MC is of no equal and is the undefeated god of fighting. And with this, we conclude our video. If you enjoyed this list, I want you to smash that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and press that bell icon to keep you notified of all our new videos. Also, comment down below on the anime you like the most on this list, and if you're planning to watch any of them. And if you have any suggestions, place them in the comments as well. Until next time, see ya!